Exploring the avenue that summer day, it was hard not to feel anguish over what might have been. In fact, over what once was. At the beginning of the 20th century, Hartford had ranked as one of the richest cities in the country. The insurance industry, innovative manufacturers like Elizabeth Colt and Albert Pope, and literary illuminati like Mark Twain and Harriet Beecher Stowe, had given the city economic and cultural prominence. Back then, Hartford was renowned both for its commercial bustle and for its stately elegance. Of all the beautiful towns it has been my fortune to see, this is the chief. Twain enthused upon his first visit. You do not know what beauty is if you have not been here. The past half-century plus, however, has been unkind. The dawn of the automobile led to the rise of the suburbs and a shift at multiple levels of policy priorities that favored those suburbs over cities. In Hartford, as in other American cities, civil rights protests in 1968, after the death of Martin Luther King, created lacerating images of inner-city damage, images that accelerated white flight, leaving behind neighborhoods that were increasingly segregated. Banks refused to lend, businesses closed, more people moved away. Urban residents suffered from decisions that favored commuters. On Albany Avenue, property owners demolished 3- and 4-story ornate brick and wood buildings with abandon, putting gas stations, car washes, strip malls, and drive-thrus in their places. These types of businesses were convenient for drivers speeding to and from the wealthy western suburbs. Indeed, anyone visiting Albany Avenue today might quake a bit wanting to cross the avenue in certain places. However, these businesses generated little tax revenue for the city, and they tended to be owned by out-of-towners who neglected the needs of the community. The owners of the Popeyes lot lives in a $1 million home in another state. Just a mile south, Mark Twain's neighborhood has fared a little better, managing to retain a greater share of the architecture he admired. Still, across the street from his old home sits a 1-story strip mall with a rundown parking lot running 300 feet along Farmington Avenue. And following Farmington Avenue to the city line, you'd see a few gas stations and fast food chains interspersed among the older buildings. The downgrading of Hartford is not just a matter of subjective perception, but a quantifiable reality. Connecticut's capital is now one of the poorest cities in the country, an island of concentrated poverty in one of America's wealthiest regions.